أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم. Today is 19th of June 2026 and it's Friday and we're going to talk about the trade I took on Thursday. We're going to review that. Okay. So I took the trade on gold. I'm looking at gold right now only. So let's start from the weekly chart. I know there are a lot of drawing charts. I will try to explain all of it in a very quick way. So this is the recent week right now, which I'm looking at. So I highlighted it. This is the longest week, okay, and this is the monthly IFBG, okay. On weekly chart, IFBG longest week, and this is the recent week. I don't know why didn't I highlighted it. I'm not going to highlight the CE of it because I'm looking at the quarters, okay. Daily chart, we're going to review this, okay. This Thursday candle, right now we are expanding to a downside, okay. Okay, so wait a minute. So you can see on the daily wick, the daily candle we went higher respected this wick plus this monthly upper quarter, then break to a downside. I will talk about it. Okay. So on a higher time frame we went lower, liquidity went to the upside. So the one thing which is either we are going to trace to upside, it's a retracement, or we're going to reverse to upside. Okay, so it is not confirmed for me. So on 4-hour chart you can see there was already a break from down, break to upside, but you can see what happened after. We went higher, took these recent highs, okay, and break to the downside, plus plus plus, okay. We respected this low quarter, then break to up, and this may become a propulsion block, okay, plus this monthly week, which of which upper quarter we respected and break its low quarter, okay. And this is Thursday. Here we were, and let's see how I looked at it. So there's a clear sign for me that I am more bearish than bullish, okay. There was clear higher high, plus there was smooth lows to a downside. This was the recent low which I was looking for, and on 1 hour time frame it's much clearer. And one more thing, that when we went lower we did not take this liquidity and then retrace this to the upside, which was a sign that if we are going to the downside, if we respect this area, which we did, that at least we're going to take this liquidity. It is which with my experience I looked, I saw that enough that I know that it's more high probable. Then when we went lower, did not take any liquidity, and then we'll face to upside. And there's a clear direction for one side, okay. And we don't put the liquidity and face to upside. If there's a setup there, we are going to take at least this liquidity and then those, okay. So what happened? We went higher. Thursday, they started the New York session, went higher, respected the low quarter plus respected the upper quarter. So at least we're going to the CE of it. We went lower, went to the low quarter, we spent some time, break to downside, and this is a low quarter, okay. Let me show you. This is a low quarter of the longest week, I think, okay. We went lower, respected it, went higher, then we took the recent liquidity, made a higher high, and then went lower. What a beautiful price action. So you can see how I use that. I already explained the bias, why we were bearish, and let's see what was the option before. So the news was, I forgot to tell about the inform about the news. The news was for me, which was only one news which was not interesting, but there was one news in the pre-New York session, which was not in important news due to USD. So we can say it was a no New York news day, okay, for the Thursday. We went higher, make a higher high on the low time frame. See how everything is correlated and related to each other, and how it's respecting each other, and the way higher time frame directing to, that's one of the ideal day, that's one of the easiest day to look at, okay. That's one of the best day, okay. So because higher time frame is, low time frame is respecting higher time frame, and higher time frame is it's they both are doing the same thing, okay. So on a lower time frame, 9:30 opening, we went higher, took the recent liquidity, made a higher high, went lower, made this was the first present value gap, went higher, break to a downside, 5-minute. Let me see one thing. 5-minute first present value gap. So there was this opportunity for me which I kind of missed, and seeing that we could enter there, it was a high risk, high reward entry. And because it was a clear sign, and the way we respected the low quarter of that monthly wick, which upper quarter we respected already, okay, and of which low quarter we are respecting right now, okay, to the downside. And there are liquidity on low time frame as well. You can see no liquidity taken, no liquidity taken, no liquidity taken, and yeah. So this could be entry. I missed it, and then we. Oh yeah, okay. No, I didn't miss it. We went lower. We made and I have a screenshot of it. So luckily we went lower. So at that point, let me see the screenshot, because I first I looked for a trade. I took a short trade, as you can see, but first I was getting into the trade somewhere else. Okay, it was before, and this was a stop loss upper quarter, and I was trying to enter here, and then I closed the limit order. Why? Okay, I think this was yeah. So the best entry, the first entry for me was this, which I didn't take. Okay, for some reason, and then we went lower, and I set this entry on this upper quarter, and this was the reason. So what happened? We went lower. Okay, the price action was not that quite good, and we were consolidating and took this recent liquidity. Okay, there was some smooth lows to the downside. So at that point, I removed the limit order. Why? I wrote it here as well, but I will explain in a simple word. The reason was that there were few PDRAs where we could retrace, and you can see there was no clear higher high on a 1 minute time frame. Like there was, this all was a higher high, looked like a break in market structure, but there was no clean breaker form here. Okay, in breaker there should be a recent low to the right side, or and the liquidity should take that. And you can see if in this we had went higher, took this higher, and then went lower, that would be a good sign. So and plus there was 50 minute first presented fair value gap, there was this 5 minute first presented fair value gap, then there was this 1 minute first presented fair value gap. And after the taking liquidity, there was higher chances, or it was logical. I'm not going to say it was higher chances, but it was logical for the price to trace into these PDRAs. Okay, where my stop loss was at that time. Okay, so I waited the way the price action was, and I closed. I didn't delete the limit order, and then I waited. And that's what patient is. That's what I learned by spending 2 years in it, by losing with these mistakes. So I waited. Went lower recently. Waited. I will look for an option if I get any. Okay, so and I did get, went higher, didn't get this liquidity. I was looking for entry again for this upper quarter, and there was this 5 minute second presented fair value gap. Let me change it. This was the second presented fair value gap, which I also look at. Okay, and it's better if it's with the breaking market structure, or after the breaking market structure. Let me confirm it. Yes, it's a breaking market structure. It's after the break of the structure. Okay, so yeah, that was a good sign. So was a good sign, and then went higher, break to the downside. I entered. Okay, I entered here, and then what happened was we start spending some time here, went lower to the recent liquidity, then I went higher, didn't take this, and just start spending some time, and then went lower to Poljan block, and then start going to the downside. Okay, so this, my TP was 3RR. Why I looked for the 3RR? Okay, I talked about it in here as well, but I'm not going to read that. It's not that I don't know now, and I just gave the reason there. I'll make a reason of that. So as I explained the bias on higher time frame, there were logical areas where we could go, like this recent 1 hour, which I was also talk about that after the replacement, and there's opportunity again if we are going to downside. At least I'm expecting price to take the low, and then the other relative equal lows. Okay, which are on. Let me show it again. So this is the low which I highlighted. Okay, it's not showing here, but it's on 15 minutes. These are the relative equal lows after, and so it's also a relative equal low. So I'm, as I said, I'm expecting price to take this at least. And what happened? So I explained it. So this was a reason why I looked for the 3RR, which was that the target on the higher time frame is even lower. Okay, and this is the recent one. This is the, at least I'm looking for this low, which is the 1 hour low, and then there are some relative equal lows there that where it's high probable we can go there. Okay, and as you can see, we went to that. Okay, and I already explained the reason behind it. Okay, so the at least the maximum I can look for in a trade is 3 RR, at least in the drawdown period. Okay, okay, if I am in a very good position, I'm up on the account, and the price went as expand to my side, and it already on the 2 RR. Okay, I can look for if the price it's with correlated with the high time. So okay, I can look for even more, but at least I'm looking for 3 RR maximum, sorry, and at least the target it's 2 RR and then the 3 RR. So that's why I placed the TP on the 3 RR, because it was logical, it was not emotional, and I already explained. So what happened? We went lower, but at, at the same time, price could retrace to upside. Okay, I could be wrong, and that's why I should get what I no I should take what I get. Okay, what I'm getting. I'm not going to risk all of this, and I'm already in the drawdown. I'm have to play safe, and it's logical. So there's one option to take a partial here, and the second option is to place the stop loss. So I'm not more I'm more I don't usually take partials. Okay, so that's why so we went lower, and it was a very logical area. So it was a strong area. Even if we going to lower side, which was most higher probable by looking at the higher time frame. Even if we are going to downside, there's a chance it's logical that we can trace to upside. Okay, and there were smooth highs. You can see and there was some low time frame smooth highs to upside. And there was this 5 minute first presented fair value and this, and at least we could go to this upper quarter after respecting. Right? As I explained it, that a high chance if we respect the lower, we can go to the upper quarter, even if we are lower. Okay, so for that reason, we went higher. I was totally strict with my stop loss, which was very logical. And when we went into the CE of it, there was structure making in it, so I placed the stop loss to this high. Okay, and that's why it was not a TP day. And yeah, it is what it is, and it was a logical thing, and I did the right thing. So we went higher at the stop loss, and then we went to the target, and then we went even lower. Okay, the other relatively equal lows. So this what happened, and this was the day for me. What result? Not resulting in the 3 RR, not in 2 RR, but in 1.43 RR, which was a winning day for me for 3 years. Alhamdulillah, I used second presented 5 minute gap, which is 5 minute, which is first presented free value gap. ICT talked about it in his, I think, 2025 mentorship. Let's talk about the review. Okay. So this week we result. Right now it's 2 trades, and one was a loss, and the second was 1.5 was a win. Okay, Alhamdulillah, and yeah. So the last day is today of the week, Friday. We'll look at the Friday has no news day. So this was the FMC week, and I recently note that the FMC week is not a good week before trading the FMC. So I'll look into it more in my data, that how it is for me. Okay. So what I learned is by a smart money concept trader, that on an FMC day, the first 2 days are not good, and the price action will get better after the FMC. And that's exactly what I saw this week. Okay, the price action was not good, and the day after the FMC, it's became better. What was overall market corrector today? Overall, we were bearish, made of I already explained, 4 hour high time frame, and there was smooth lows to the downside. Expected the monthly upper quarter to the downside and break the low quarter of that week, monthly week. How was your emotional state? Calm, no rush, patient. I was totally patient, and I did the very logical thing. I did not make any. It was logical to look for more, to risk at that point with all the higher time frame correlated with it, and you can see the reward of it. Okay, there are some days like this one which you don't get the reward even if you are right, and there are some days when you are wrong in this situation. Okay, and there are most of the days when you get righted and the reward is worth it. Okay, compared to the risk, and it's logical. Most important, it's with your model. It's one of those days when you look for more, or you become a bit aggressive. Not aggressive, but yeah, these one of those good days. Okay, as in the bad days you should be more careful or should be more strict with the stop loss, and these kind of days you should be more patient and look for more. Okay, and it's better it is very beneficial for me in the future. Okay, what I was expecting and what happened, I was expecting to price to go lower to the lows of the 1 hour or 4 hour at least. We did exactly what we half of it, but glad I didn't get even half of it. But I'm glad I was able to read that and I was able to participate in that and able to get a piece of it and follow my rules most importantly. What was your best trade and why? The trade I took was the best trade because it was obviously it was logical and correlated with the high time frame, and stop loss were logical and all. Okay, did I make any mistake? What triggered? No, I did not. This one thing which is coming to my mind, which comes to my mind that I should have got out with the 2 hour. Okay, that this was a thing which came to my mind when it hit the stop loss. Things were coming to my mind. Did I make any mistake? Should I have gotten out with the 2 hour? Did I become greedy? Did I show impatient? And should I have had set the stop loss to higher after seeing that price went lower? Okay, so there was thing, but after reviewing it with a clear mind, I did the right thing. It was logical to look for more, look for 3 hour, and it was logical to play safe as well, to set the stop loss, especially in a time where you are in drawdown. Okay, if I was in a good position, so I could be flexible, like placing the stop loss at the most logical area, and where it was the most logical area and would be the most logical area. And if the price going to that area, or if going to above that, or sorry, not respect going to respect that, that would result in that I'm wrong, and it's okay. But as I said, the risk to reward is much higher. Okay, so if I would be right that the result would be 7 hour or 8 hour, but at this point where I'm in drawdown, okay, and the most important thing right now is to follow my rules and to play safe, and most important for me is right now to get out from the drawdown. Okay, which will help me a lot to build more confidence, and yeah. So I should have got around with 2 hour, but it's just emotion. Logically I did the right thing, and I talked about it in a trade journal, and there I talked about the logic behind the stop loss, placing the stop loss, why I was totally right by becoming safe. So it was yeah, okay. So I talked about that if I was in the good position, like if I was up on the account, okay, I could play a very flexible or most logical way to set the stop loss to the most logical area, and for example to the break even or to the high of the 5 minute first representative fair gap. And because on high time frame we can retrace and then we can low, it's more it's how price move. And but where I was in drawdown, and I have to be strict with the stop loss as well. I don't want to be greedy to look for if I look for 3 RR and don't become logical and set the stop loss to where I should be placing. Okay, so we already took the recent liquidity and we are already below the 2 RR area. So I should, at this point, I should at least go out with at least half piece of it. Okay, and I did the right. What is the one action I will take tomorrow toward this? Okay, there was no mistake. What is the plan for tomorrow? Tomorrow is no news Friday. We'll look into data, which I'm most of the time don't look at the data. I will inshallah look into the data of it, and we'll look for a trade according to that after the opening bell. Okay, opening bell, which means 9:30, and we'll follow my rule and plan. Okay, so let me show you the count. So this was a day which resulted in 133 RR with the out of position. I think, yeah. This could be at least this one thing is coming to my mind, but I have to be very logical, and I have to teach myself, have to remind myself that it was the right thing. I didn't do the wrong thing. Okay, which where we could get at least $200, but it was the risk toward was better, that it could be $300. Okay, and it was logical, most important. And see how we went. So I was just a bit unlucky. Okay, it was a low resistance liquidity one, and see how we just took me, and then it went to that. Yeah, it was just yeah. So then went higher. Okay, and then respected that area, low quarter plus the upper quarter, make an entry, and went for this low and then low. Okay, and then you can see how brilliantly we moved to downside. I think that's it for the day. Alhamdulillah, first win on this account, and I did the right thing. Inshallah, in the next video, Allah Hafiz.